Hello friends, this video on subject and predicate part 4 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Now, most of the times we are given a sentence and we have to identify which is the subject and which is the predicate. Now, let us quickly discuss about some of the tips to identify the subject. So, first step would be to identify the verb. So, first of all, you have to identify the verb. And then you have to ask a question to yourself, adding who or what before the verb. Right? For example, let me take a very simple example. They eat apples. Let's say you have to find out which is the subject. So first step is identify the verb. So what is the verb here? Eat is the verb here. Next step is ask a question to yourself, adding who or what before the verb. So that means who eat or what eats. So what is not applicable in this case? So here it would be who eats. And then answer of the question gives the subject. So they eat. Who eat? They eat. So they is the subject. So if you remember these three simple steps, doesn't matter what is the order of the subject and the predicate, you will be easily able to identify the subject. Always find out the verb, ask a question to yourself, adding who or what before the verb, and the answer of the question gives you the subject. So let us look at these examples. Lata sings well. So in this case, what is the verb? So sings is the verb. Now if you add a what or who before the verb, like who sings, what sings. So who sings? The answer would be Lata. So in this case, Lata is the subject. Let's look at this one. This house is haunted. So here what is the verb? The verb is haunted. So who is haunted or what is haunted? This house. Therefore, this house is the subject. Now, let us look at some examples and see how do we separate the subject and the predicate. So, first sentence is honesty is the best policy. So, in this case, we will follow the steps. First step is to identify the verb. Verb here is. Now, before the verb, add who or what and ask a question to yourself, like who is the best policy or what is the best policy? What would be the answer to the question? Honesty. So, therefore, in this case, honesty is the subject, is the best policy is the predicate. Let's look at the next one. I asked her to call me in the evening. So in this sentence, first let us try to identify the verb. So the verb here is asked. Now try to frame a question. Who asked her to call me in the evening? So I asked her. So in this case, I is the subject and the remaining part of the sentence is the predicate. Moving on to the next sentence, Sachi is listening to music. So here what is the verb? Is listening. So who is listening to music? Sachi. So Sachi in this case is the subject and is listening to music is the predicate. So you see here also we divided the sentence into two halves, subject and predicate. Moving on to the next one, I wrote the answer neatly. So identify the verb here, verb is wrote. Who wrote the answer neatly? I. So I in this case is the subject and the remaining sentence is the predicate. On top of the tree lives a sparrow. So in this case, how do you identify the subject and the predicate? So again, we will do the same thing. So what is the verb here? So verb here is lives. So who lives on top of the tree? That would be the question because we need to put a who or what before the verb. So what lives on top of the tree or who lives on top of the tree? Right? So what would be your answer? A sparrow. So the sparrow is the subject and the remaining part is the predicate. So this is again an example of a sentence where the order of the subject and the predicate has been reversed. So this is also called subject-verb inversion because the same sentence can also be written like this. A sparrow lives on top of the tree. So if you write it like this here, a sparrow would be the subject, lives on top of the tree would be the predicate. So if you looked at the position of the subject and the verb, you see that they have been interchanged. Here the subject comes first and then comes the verb lives, and here the verb comes first and then comes the subject. So that is why this is called subject verb inversion. Let's look at the next statement. The wooden stick was broken by the boy. So here, what is the verb? Identify the verb first. The verb is was broken. So what was broken by the boy? The answer would be the wooden stick. So therefore, the wooden stick would be the subject in this case, and was broken by the boy would be the predicate. Now, if you look at the voice of this sentence, this is in passive voice, right? Something is done by the boy. So this is a passive voice. So in this case, what do you see? That the subject, which is the wooden stick, is actually not the doer of the action. So wooden stick is not doing anything. The boy is actually breaking the wooden stick, right? So the subject in this case is not the doer of the action, as this sentence is in passive voice. Moving on to the next example, show me how to do it. So first of all, identify what is this sentence. So this sentence is an example of imperative sentence, because we are giving an order to someone else to do something. We are asking someone else to show me how to do it, right? So that means this is an imperative sentence, and in imperative sentence, the subject is so obvious that it is not mentioned. So basically here, the subject is you, which is not mentioned. So that is called understood subject. So whatever you see as part of the sentence is the predicate. I will play while you study. So here we have two verbs in the sentence, play and study. Similarly, we have two subjects in the sentence, I and you. So this is an example of a sentence with multiple subjects and multiple verbs. In the English class tomorrow, you will have a test. So where is the verb here? So here you have the verb is here, will have. So who will have a test in the English class tomorrow? The answer is you. So therefore, you in this case is the subject, and the remaining part of the sentence is the predicate. In the English class tomorrow will have a test. This is all predicate. So in the predicate, you have the verb plus all the supporting words of the verb. Finally, the last example, sometimes the predicate comes before the subject in sentences. So this is your given sentence where you have to find out the subject. So here, where is the verb? So the verb is here, comes. Now let's add who or what before the verb. So what comes before the subject in sentences sometimes? The answer would be the predicate. So therefore, the predicate in this case is the subject, and all the remaining part is the predicate, right? So the predicate here, the irony is that the predicate in the sentence is actually the subject. So with this, we have reached towards the end of this lesson, and I hope that the concept of subject and predicate is now clear to you, because as I mentioned that subject predicate seems to be a very simple topic, but you really need to understand the concept very well, so that no matter whatever sentence is given to you, you should be able to identify the subject and the predicate. And how that helps, because you have seen that while we were learning about active voice, passive voice, we always refer to the subject, the object and things like that. So if you are very much clear with the concept of subject predicate, it helps you in further understanding of other concepts which are related to this. So practice more questions, look at more sentences, try to identify the subject and predicate, and I am sure that the concepts taught in this lesson will definitely help you. So see you all in the next lesson.
Thank you. Please visit examfear.com for free quality education. You can learn with a simple 4-step learning process wherein you can watch video lessons, you can ask your questions, you can refer notes, and you can take a free online test. We have content for class 6 to 12 on physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology along with practical videos. So please subscribe to our channel for daily updates. Thank you.